Hey guys, Sebchoof here. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Josh Strife Hayes' follow-up video, and also some other things like Deca responding to the series of videos. But yeah, my prediction for this video is going to be more of the same, I think. Like, he's just gonna double down on his first video, and plus come across some new disgusting things, like maybe how pay-to-win pets are. He might find out what exalting is. He might find out how tedious maxing is, but to be honest, I think maxing is kind of fun when you're a newer player. I think we should get started. Let's check it out. Ready?
Recently, I released Worst MMO Ever, Realm of the Mad God, episode 61 in the long-running Worst MMO Ever series. Each episode attempts to condense the first...
Oh, it's so funny because I will check out if he made any more messages in the official Realm of the Mad God Discord, but he was complaining about how hard Demetus was, because why did it spawn from a pirate cave? I didn't know that can happen.
Few hours of an MMORPG game down into a light-hearted, entertainment-focused 30-minute critique, discussing everything from serious mechanical flaws to...
Oh god, I can't tell if the
minutia.
bitrate is bad, the recording, or it's my side. Oh, 4K quality, holy shit.
The episodes
And it's still shit.
reviews as such, but they often get seen that way. The response to the Realm of the Mad God episode, however, was interesting. There were many YouTube comments on the video calling it low quality or incorrect, including some comments from people...
Yeah, to be honest, they're all copers. They're all copers. Did this game shit? Just admit it. Just admit it. Like, there's some parts of it that you find personally fun. Definitely the early game is horrible.
To the development or past development of the game. There were Reddit threads discussing the inaccuracies in the video, and the Discord community discussed how much time I actually played for. Overall, people felt the video was weak. And I agree. Watching it back, it has become apparent there were glaring inaccuracies, some of which I feel are legitimate design issues which need to be addressed. However, several of them were my fault for not diving deeply enough into the information provided within the game. It is only fair to the game and the players that I...
Like, my prediction is he's just going to go further, like he's going to explore it further and realize that it actually is as much of a problem as he said. Because sure, he made some small mistakes, like the soulbound thing, but that soulbound thing that he got wrong, it actually made the situation look better than what it really is. Because if it was bound to your character, you would keep what you paid for, but you have to pay for it with each character, if that makes sense.
Myself. When I critique a game, I point out the flaws, and I hope the company responsible will consider my points and work to improve the game.
Oh, they did respond, so I'm really keen to see that.
Fails. I win, we all win, when a game is the best version of itself. Therefore, if I hold developers to these standards, I must hold myself to them too. I must be willing to listen to the feedback given to me, act on it, and to improve, and to show you, the viewer, evidence of that improvement. While it's never easy to face criticism, I do dish it out on a weekly basis. It seems fitting.
I think he's gonna... I told him to make a new account, but he didn't. I think he's gonna have people following him now, making the game easier for him. Because I don't know if these guys genuinely want to do a manor. Yo, unavailable, what's going on? Hey, Blunty, hey. And don't peek, yo.
I take some from time to time. MMORPG players are passionate people, and while much of the initial feedback was
I don't care, I'm just kidding.
Passionate and not
I'm way too into Realm.
Diplomatic, it was valuable. When an enfranchised fan sees a YouTuber get something wrong, the first thought isn't to send a nicely worded email, it's to type out a harsh comment, and that's understandable. My channel is seen by many people, so I do have a level of responsibility.
Guys, I saw the funniest Reddit comment yesterday. I'll show you guys. I don't know if it was a troll, but it was so funny.
To make sure I'm being
I'll show you after this.
as I can and not showing a game in an unfairly negative
Remind
light.
me.
People have asked me if I'm going to repeat this process for
Yo, Angle Connect, what's going on?
every game I've covered. The honest answer is no. The reaction to this video stood out to me uniquely because when I watched it back, I wasn't proud of it. I couldn't stand by and defend it. The critique in the video wasn't just salty players, it was viewers and players with legitimate issues with the quality of the video itself, the research.
I don't know if it was that bad.
Being up to the standard you've come to expect of me. So I've gone through the YouTube comments, Reddit.
Thanks for
and
following
Discord
the stream.
and gathered
Cheers,
a collection
Angle.
of the most common complaints about the video. The Discord community was lovely, by the way, and I appreciate everyone there taking the time to talk to me. Let's go over the most common complaints, address the valid concerns, and attempt to be better. While doing this, if I do discover any extra design features, I will include a critique on them too. The maximum level in Realm of the Mad God is 20, and playing efficiently can get you to level 20 within about half half an hour, many people found it impossible to believe I played enough to review the game fairly, showing only footage of a few early game raids and a single orange.
To be honest,
this is understandable.
I legitimately think he didn't make it. I legitimately think he played it for 10 hours without getting level 20. Hey Afro, what's going on?
Most of the time I put into recording footage of a game ends up being cut. The footage simply isn't interesting or it's not worth discussing. Things like running around the entire Nexus to see if the black void extends all the way around it. It does. Or changing the video settings quickly to see if I could crash the client. I could not. In my older videos I made jokes on video settings or customization options, but here they are solid. A lot of my time went into things I couldn't create content of because the foundation of the game is solid. Mechanically, it works fine. I did, however, play the game for less time.
Yeah, I love the core gameplay of this game.
This was because after a few hours of gameplay, the experience became repetitive, and while it was still enjoyable in a roguelike fashion, it wasn't generating any new insights or content I felt could be added to the video. Hour
yeah, that
6
makes sense.
was much the same as Hour 3, at least for a new player. You'll be grinding, dying, and repeating. Fun to do, not to watch. My reasoning for it, though, doesn't excuse me from doing it, however, and more time should have been spent playing.
Oh,
While I
no
address
way,
the other
fungal.
points,
Wait,
I'll
is this
grind
fungal
away in
pistol?
the background. You'll see the
Fungal.
footage of me playing and see how the experience changes at 20. I want to reach level 20 on at least 2 classes. It is important to note many players have told me the standard way to level is by running with a group or grinding dungeons, or sitting on Discord waiting for a dungeon to pop. This isn't communicated to a new player.
That's gross.
So the
Yeah,
standard
exactly.
player will be
Oh,
open
God.
world grinding for a while, because that is
He
the
found
gameplay
out.
style the tutorial encourages you to follow.
He
While doing
found
this, I
out.
get a PM from Pond Guy offering help. They say they've helped many new players through the first few confusing hours. This highlights an extremely important issue and is one of the main reasons I'm so critical of the opening experience in any MMO game. There are many free MMORPGs.
He's got 1 star.
And if your opening experience isn't both smooth and excited to have a new player, then the new player will simply uninstall and try another game. If your game does not have a tailored experience to help inexperienced players enjoy it, you will lose those new players within the first few hours. New
Yep.
players don't want to fight through a confusing opening.
They don't have to
The
play
fun
50
bit of
hours,
any
man.
game shouldn't be a reward for struggling through the initiation of the opening.
Dude,
What you
the
tend to
recording
find
of this
as
area is always so bad.
MMORPG ages, the developers focus exclusively on the higher level players because they are the players who spend the most money. So the majority of content releases aimed at them. This can be a very paradoxical
He hasn't used opacity yet.
design, leading to player-based decline. You want to release content aimed at your paying players, but you don't constantly bring new people in that way. If you do that, you start the ticking time bomb of the dying MMO. There must be a balance of new player-focused design and veteran player reward. Without both, an MMO will eventually die. Realm of the Mad God has been slowly losing players for many years because new players are forced to play through the dregs of old content and not enjoy the shiny new stuff. This Reddit post shows the decline of the active player base in recent years.
Oh, he found this post. Oh, fuck, he found this post. This is a data set of the number of active players by ranked, and how the active players are determined is it's players logged in within a fortnight. So, like, for example, you had 138,000 here log in within a fortnight, but then you had 53,000 people log in a fortnight. I don't know how bots play into this and stuff like that, but it definitely is concerning. The point he makes about content being released for endgame players was a bit off. Yeah. I don't know why people say Deca prioritizes endgame players. The only thing they really prioritize in this game is whales. I actually don't know who else they would prioritize, because endgame players is definitely not it. Let's keep going.
Is a shocking set of numbers. When a developer sees a graph like this, they want to focus on monetizing the remaining players, and the new player experience gets neglected because new players don't bring in as much money as already experienced players do. From a purely financial point of view, it makes sense in the short term to invest in your current player base. Retention becomes more important than advertising or onboarding.
Yeah.
In the long term...
And honestly, I believe that advertising for games, especially this small, isn't that important. I think word of mouth, especially for a game that's declined this much, would be so powerful. Because if someone is suggested this game and they already had a previous exposure to it, word of mouth is definitely the best form of marketing in my opinion. Because you're not getting a business to sell to you, but you're getting a person, like a friend, to sell to you, which is really different. That's why I think BTN and Daza will have a strong start.
This leads to the dying game supported by
Like, they don't have to advertise it.
whales. When players with hundreds or even thousands of hours ask, where are all the new players, the answer is usually they are playing a game with a better onboarding process. Side note, while writing this script and standing in the Nexus chatting to some people, the player codex, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, showed me a hidden path to the west which leads
Yeah, I
to
had a
the hot
feeling.
spring area, which was really cool.
I had a feeling this guy was just following him, not giving him a proper experience. I wonder if he would have gotten level 20 without him. Yo, welcome back, Rossmore Troll. Where'd you go?
The next mistake was saying soulbound items are kept on death, and this made the cash shop pay to win because you could just buy the best items and never lose them. This is incorrect. I incorrectly assumed soulbound means keepable through death. It actually means non-tradable. This is explained in the journal, and while I do maintain text dumps are not a great way to introduce a player to mechanics,
That's AIDS.
or keywords,
That's
this
AIDS,
was
but it's
simply
me in the
my
screenshot.
mistake in the original video. I made the cannot lose on death assumption because I couldn't fathom a game selling you a lockbox with a 1% drop rate of legendary items, drop rates found through a developer post, which could simply be lost on death. A player would spend a great deal of money to find these high-end items, equip them, die, and then lose them all. So lockboxes
Who would buy
and
that?
ability
No one named
enhancing
Sebchoof
items
would.
aren't consistent pay to win. They are temporary pay for advantage. So the joke line of losing items is a mechanic for poor people doesn't work.
Hey, Arake, what's going on? Hi, and hey, Toothpoofs.
Reality is, losing items is a mechanic for everyone, but the ability to rebuild quickly is a privilege for rich people. Another area I didn't touch on was pets, because as a new player I simply didn't get exposed to them. The journal tells me I can get eggs from bosses, and pets, according to the player base,
You have to do a decent amount of Godlands killing.
win systems. You can buy ambrosia in the cash shop to
Oh,
feed
no.
your pet. Pet food has a feed power level, higher, costs more. You can also feed your pet items that you've picked up in the game. While googling about pets, I discovered the Grand Bazaar, and I felt I was harsh to the floor space dedicated to the...
I told you guys. Mercy on Josh Strife Hayes if he ever finds the Grand Bazaar. Holy shit.
In the Nexus, this
Here we go.
Grand Bazaar is just gratuitous. It is all shop. You can buy a legendary mystery egg for 3,500 realm gold. I ask around and the community explained to me. You get a legendary pet and then level it up. You need the heal and magic heal abilities. And to find one of these in the wild to get it as a drop from a boss would take hundreds, possibly thousands of hours. Or you could spend up to several $1,000s
I've
on
definitely
it.
never spent money on any of these stuff choose.
Alright, hold on. I'll link the video. Yo, King Urgle, what's going on? Welcome back. Oh, I've missed you, man. How are you? Hey, and hey, Gummy Cat. Here's the link. Here's the link. This guy's a big YouTuber. He has 450k subscribers. Josh Strife Hayes.
These are the specifics I, as a new player, would never be exposed to until I was established in the game. And this, I feel, is a shame.
It's
If
me
pets
again.
are such a powerful and important mechanical aspect of the end game, then exposing a new player to them from the start, or indeed having them...
To be honest, I think, you know how some people call some MMOs pay for convenience? I think this is more pay for convenience than pay to win, but it's still a form of pay to win. It's just not blatant, you know what I mean?
in the tutorial,
like mega blatant,
such as a weak pet to follow you around, would let the new players enjoy a newer, more fleshed out system.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
As they grow. But my new discoveries should have been my initial discoveries. That's a failing on my part. The original video fell below the quality you deserve, and that's not acceptable. I make my living critiquing an industry known to take advantage of the
I don't
lowered
know, I don't
expectations of its
understand.
players. It would be a deep irony if I were to lower the quality of my own work just because I have an established viewer base. You deserve the best video every time. It was the intense and deserved backlash from the community which prompted me to revisit my video. It's extremely important to understand the community of Realm of the Mad God weren't annoyed I critiqued their game, they were annoyed I critiqued it unfairly and incorrectly. The community told me about pets, and the community explained my mistake with Soulbound, and they explained the endgame focus, the dwindling player count, and the lack of communication with the current developers. The Realm of the Mad God player base rightly disliked the video and called me out on it. Not
I don't
because
think it was that
attacked their
bad.
game, but because I didn't
It was
attack
just
the
a
things
very
that
low
actually
amount of
need
playing.
fixing. After the video,
Like, I think the only issue with his old video is he played for, like, he didn't achieve much. So it was just a very shallow experience, but like that in itself was accurate for someone who didn't reach level 20. And that there's going to be a lot of people that are like that quit before getting level 20. I think when I played this game for the first time, I quit before I got level 20, and then I came back months later.
Many Realm players reach
And I know
out
a
to
few
me,
others
pointing
that
out
were
my
like that.
mistakes and offering to help fix them. I know we usually see the aggressive or angry side of any MMO community, but the majority of players genuinely do want to help. It is also deeply ironic that if the developers of Realm of the Mad God had put half as much effort into keeping new players as the Realm of the Mad God community have put into offering to help me understand it better, it would probably have the best new player experience in any MMO. The
Wait,
Worst
what?
MMO Ever series is indeed a provocative title designed to generate an emotional response, but I don't want it to be clickbait. I want to set up a question and then answer it fairly. The games are played and critiqued with entertainment placed first, that's true, but that doesn't mean I get to be lazy.
Yeah, he's getting
or
so
I'm
much
allowed
help
to
now.
be straight up wrong. I do not ever want you as a viewer to blindly support me, especially if you feel I'm not producing content of the quality you have come to expect and deserve. If I am going to call out the MMO industry for their falling standards or complacency, I expect you and encourage you to do the same to me. So,
Get on
after
with it,
grinding
mate.
to level 20 on a few classes, what would I have changed about the original video? Honestly, getting to level 20 from a new player's perspective is very time consuming. I know
Yep.
the experienced players know the tips and tricks.
Yeah,
and can
that's what
group
I
up
thought
to
after
grind
it.
dungeons faster, but a new player just starting out will
I was really hoping this video would have been like 30 hours more playtime, but I think it's 6... He said it was 6 hours more playtime, and just fixing stuff. I don't know,
what
we'll
the
see.
tutorial recommends, which is follow the bounties. And that's fine up to around level 15 or 16, but then it gets very slow and much more lethal. You are much more likely to die solo. It's a lot more punishing. Hitting 20 as a new player, doing what the game recommends you to do, is not a
This
great
is so
experience
nostalgic.
because it's extremely
Fire
inefficient,
sword.
and it doesn't feel rewarding, it feels like work. And I died again and again and again.
How'd you die to lava,
again.
man?
And, well,
Oh, he
I
ended up
died
dying in the fungal cave.
a lot.
Oh, what the hell? See, I told you guys. Like, getting level 20 isn't an easy task for a brand new player, because how are they supposed to know it's efficient? He went into a nest. He went into a fungal. He ended up dying to that Demetus, which I don't blame. Oh, and he went into another fungal. Or Mushroom Chieftain can be on the top, I
If
think.
the game begins at 20, which many people have told me it does, which
Yeah.
in itself is temporary, and the new player experience of reaching 20 is this repetitive, it's honestly no wonder the game is struggling to hold new players. This is also where things like the max level potion for 500 Realm Gold coins exist. The developers know that you want to skip this bit. They know you would be willing to pay money to not do this. Codex shows up again and runs me through an undead lair, boosting me to level 19 quite quickly. It seems one of the only viable ways to play the game is to know someone who already plays the game.
Yeah, actually.
True solo.
It's so dumb. You need to know someone that already played the game, and even then, it was so hard for me to get any friends into this game. Like, I think only like one out of 15 people that I attempted to get into this game stuck.
Player, a new
yeah.
player, one not wishing to
And
spend
he doesn't
money
play anymore.
would really struggle to get on the leveling ladder. I find a couple of eggs during my playthrough, I hatch them and get a pet Dreidel. Feed it
Oh,
some of the
Dreidel!
mini-boss icons I've found. Feeding costs fame, it seems. I get another egg, a muddy tide chaser, and this one has heal.
I wish you talked about how dying is needed in this game, because I don't think dying is bad. I really like how you learn from death in this game, but yeah, it is very punishing, this game.
And magic heal, the two things I've been told to look out for. Pets, on the other hand, do last through death. This means if you spend real money to buy Realm Gold and then purchase a legendary egg and get a very good pet and then spend more real money
I should
to
buy it.
feed that pet,
I should buy
you
it
are
then.
buying yourself a permanent buff on every character you play as. Now,
Yeah.
I know some people are going to say, that's not pay to win, because you can get the eggs through enemy drops and you can get all the items in the game, and while yes, you can, there is a distinct advantage that a player spending thousands of dollars will have over a player not doing that. Reaching level 20 on the Archer is actually somewhat bittersweet because I don't feel any different. What happens now? Well, I may have unlocked a new class, so oh no, need to max some more classes first. Another issue I'm seeing
Unlucky.
is whenever I hit level 5 on a
Unlucky.
character, it says, congratulations, you have unlocked, and then shows me a new class, but that's wrong. It was already unlocked from the start.
Wait, what?
Hitting level
Oh,
5
because they added the 5 classes that you start with. And does it still say you unlocked the class? What the hell?
It says, congratulations, you've unlocked the Archer. That's not true. I've had the Archer available from the very start. It's like
That's very troll.
The Rogue said I'd unlocked the Warrior.
That's
Again,
very
it's been
troll.
available all the time. I think this is probably an old design they haven't updated. As a priest, I got pulled into another Oryx event, power level to 15, and then I Nexus away to safety. It seems the only real way to play this game if you want to make any noticeable progress is in a mass, which means a massive amount of content you're expecting new players to prioritize, like bounties and open world exploration, is actually
it's only on Steam when you start with 5, not on the standalone.
Waiting for content to happen to them is because they know that's the only content actually worth doing. If you actively go off to try and find adventure the way the game encourages you to play, you're actually playing extremely inefficiently. Dying and restarting is also brutal for players without a fast rebuild team. The majority of a new player's time will be spent grinding for very little visible progress, dying at level 14 or 15, only to have to restart with nothing to show for it. And this is very demotivating. I seem to be getting the same feedback from many higher level players. The foundation is fine. The game systems are fine.
Yeah, I agree. Game systems? I don't agree that it's fine. This buggy as fuck, and a lot of them impacted on the motivations that players have. Like a lot of the new systems ended up making people quit, like Forge and Exaltations.
Moment to moment is fine.
Yeah, he made another one.
Monetization is becoming more and more pushed. The new player experience is dire, and the reason many people are playing now is simply because they've been playing for so long already.
Yeah,
it's
basically.
a comfortable place to be. Realm of the Mad God is more of a community than a game, insofar as if you want to actually get involved in the game and advance at it, or run the higher level content, the only level content really worth running, you need to be involved with the community. It is very difficult to play this solo. Now, the players themselves are extremely welcome.
But if this game was busy, it would be hard to... Like, for example, if there were no bazaars, this is why I advocate for deleting bazaars. If there were no bazaars, every single Exaltation dungeon in the realm would be, like... It would be very full, and you wouldn't have the issue of having to solo stuff. But the problem with that is they would have to make the dungeons non-griefable, like not being able to drag Crusades multiple rooms. Like 2 max, stuff like that. But yeah... Even if they pop in a P-cave, that would be like an extra. That would make it more difficult to perform Discord runs, if that makes sense, right? Because I have to go through extra steps. And people can still enter those. They made it so easy to pay to win in this game with keys, and that negatively impacted the gameplay loop. Because majority of people who play this game now, I think they already have what they're going to farm in mind, and then they enter the Discord that farms that. Instead of seeking it through a realm or something like that. And the beautiful thing about this game used to be, the game used to be so random. Like, you would stumble upon a dungeon and then you would do it. You didn't plan for that. But now, like, you go into the game with whatever you already have decided to do.
The issue seems to lie with the development company. Current players care more about a new player's experience than the developers seem to. Because current players know how lacking the new player experience is. I think the development team...
Discord's definitely made it a lot worse for the new players.
Adopting new players and giving them the guidance that a well-designed in-game hidden tutorial should have given them. The developers seem to have offloaded the responsibility for...
Dude, I'm telling you guys, I think the best thing that Deca could do for new players is remove bazaars. I feel like that would be the best, because not only would every server get a lot busier, like every realm, so it would make the game look less dead, and it would make people not have to like solo everything, but it would make it that people wouldn't need like third-party programs to organize with the community to do runs, because it's so insane. It's so insane. You do need to know someone to like teach you all of these silly things, like having to enter the Discord runs and stuff.
Or bringing new players into the game to the...
And have you guys seen how crazy you need, how crazy the gear is that you need to join Discords? Like, imagine not knowing anyone, playing this game for the first time, and meeting 4-4 Rex, for example, or even 2-4 Rex, even 1-4 Rex. Getting one of those 4-4 items, like, as a brand new player, holy crap, that would be so tough. But I know some are, like, tier 10 Rex, but even tier 10 Rex, guys, I want you to try this. This is something that I tried a challenge on before. I was doing a PPE, but I had to solo absolutely everything. When I got a tier 8 weapon for the first time, dude, that was such a rush, and it was so hard to get a tier 8 weapon. It was so hard. Hey Syntheticals, what's going on?
Current player base. There were many players giving me items as well, but that also killed the point of the game.
Exactly, I
Why
told you to
would
make a new account!
Skip the boring bit if the boring bit is the bit you're making new players experience again and again. One of the comments on Reddit reads, "Pretty much all MMOs expect some willingness to learn by the player." And I do agree. A game has expectations of the effort you need to put into it. But that must be matched and often exceeded by the game's own excitement and passion for showing you what it has. A modern MMO player has hundreds of games to choose from, and if your game
Yeah, the competition is insane now for free-to-play games,
what
even.
it can do and what it can do best, you're going to lose that player to a game which will show that off. Once you finish the tutorial and you land in the Nexus, Realm of the Mad God seems to shirk all responsibility for helping a new player feel wanted. Yes, there is a game here, but it doesn't show any interest in encouraging you to play it. I spent some time standing in the Nexus watching new players spawn in and have no clue what to do. Modern MMOs do not have the luxury of sitting back and waiting for a player to stumble into the fun. Because just like an enthusiastic teacher or mentor can capture a student's interest and make a subject fun, while a dull and dry teacher can kill the joy of a subject, the subject doesn't change. The energy it's presented with does. And the one consistent design aspect you'll see across all dying MMOs is a lack of systems designed to excite and encourage a new player into the rest of the game. If a new player logs into your game and you have systems that are indifferent to their presence there, they will leave. The game doesn't care about new players. Why should new players care about your game? Then I do some more grinding and this random gold dragon spawns in at the end of a very easy pirate dungeon and I spend about 10 minutes trying to solo it.
10 minutes?
This is way too hard for a level 3 knight.
This is so
So after reading the feedback and getting a few classes to level 20, dying more times than I can remember, running more dungeons and seeing more, I feel Realm of the Mad God is a good system of mechanics, poorly explained. The new player experience is far too obtuse, the endgame system favours the already powerful, and the excessive monetization shows they've focused on draining the current player base instead of attracting a new one. The dungeon variety, though, is top-notch, with a huge assortment of themes and styles, from snake pits to mystical forests, sci-fi future lands, colourful moving platforms,
Sci-fi future
and even
lands,
some psychedelic dungeons which switch the sprites around for everything. It's a fun experience, but it feels neglected. I'd like to thank everyone who left feedback for the quality of...
Awesome. So he technically had fun in this game if he looked past all of the issues. So yeah, the core mechanics of this game are so sick. And you know what's disappointing? You know what is so depressing? The core mechanics of this game existed from the very beginning. So what the fuck has Deca done? Because that's the only part he enjoyed about this game. What the fuck has Deca done on top of that? If anything, they should have polished out the experience to get rid of the problems that he's talking about, because they've existed from the very beginning. But they made a response to this video, so we're going to check it out shortly.
Video and the review accuracy. Honest feedback is important, and I am lucky enough to have several 100,000 people willing to call me out and hold me accountable for my work. Many people assume being a YouTuber means you have no boss. I don't see it that way. As the current numbers stand, I consider myself to have roughly 440,000 bosses. If I am not producing content that is up to your standard, let me know. Thank you again to the Patreon supporters and Twitch
This is
subs
the link
keep the
to the
channel
video.
alive, and
Make
the
sure to
Realm of the
subscribe
Mad
to
God
him.
community for supporting my hours of grind. And as always, have a great day.
Make sure to subscribe to him, because he does make really good videos. Uh-oh, what's auto playing now? Okay. Let me check out the comments in this video, and then I'll check out the Reddit post. Let's see. Honestly, I liked the first video more than this one, because on this one he just repeated himself a lot about how he needs integrity and stuff like that. If anything, this video was just proving his point more. Like when he wasn't talking about how he made a mistake and how he needs to keep his reputation by, what's it called? Like he appreciates all the criticisms and stuff to keep him accountable. Other than that, it was just proving the points in this first video. I'm mostly excited for the Deca response. I think the Deca response is only to his old video as well, but yeah, this video didn't add too much. Yeah, it was basically an apology video that wasn't needed, I reckon. Let me see if he made anything. Man really said I apologize, this wasn't good enough, and then doubled down, basically. Being able to go back and admit faults, blah 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 blah. And yeah, more of the same YouTube comments as well. Oh, it's Charlesican again. The reason you unlocked Archer when hitting level 5 with the Priest is because back then you only started with Wizard and you didn't have the 5 classes to choose from right away. This seems to be a remnant of the old code back then. Okay. Seems to be more of the same. Yeah, definitely neglected is an amazing way to put it. I've been playing Rottenberger for 6.5 years and over 8,000 hours and 1.2k USD spent on the game. Rookie numbers. I mean, he spent more hours than me in much less time. Like, I think I'm 5.5k hours in 9 years, but 1.2k USD, you could have paid to win more, man. I enjoy the game, but it is neglected. Deca simply lets the players keep the game alive while the whales keep the server up. Yeah, they only prioritize whales. Like, they don't even prioritize endgame. I don't know why people keep pushing the point that they prioritize endgame players. Because, like, what have they done? They released Exalts, which is the most boring shit in the world. And there's a new endgame dungeon once a year. And the latest one wasn't even a new endgame dungeon, it was just a rework. Seb, if I carry on playing Realm as much as I do, I will surpass your hours in the next 2 years. I want to kick it, but I just can't. Oh, you're addicted? I mean, if you're having fun with it, that's what a game's supposed to do, right? Frustration from all over the community towards the developers speaks massive volumes, and I appreciate that it was a portion of the video. Yeah, YouTube comments? Oh, yeah. Really appreciate this video, my guy. I've been creating content on this for a while, but quit because of the lack of community response and engagement of the devs. I worked with them one-on-one with a small group of creators to help address key issues of the game. New player experience, servers, chatbots, etc. Offering solutions for all of this and even brought devs to them to address some of these issues. Our team working on this was eventually told directly, these are low priority issues and communication was halted. Yeah, I remember him and like MC Draft and some others, they made their own group to try to communicate to Deca on how they can fix the game, but they ultimately got ignored. Because I was in that Discord, I think they deleted it though. I'm paraphrasing here, but he says something like, if Deca put in half the effort to keeping new players as the community did, explaining the game to me, Rottenberger would have the best new player experience. Yeah, actually, that's so real. Because yeah, we try so hard to get our friends into this game. I don't try anymore though. No way. This game has become again like one of those games that you love, but you hate to tell other people that you play it. Now this is the Deca response. Yeah, we'll do shadows after this. Now this is the Deca response. Oh my god, this should be cool. So this is supposedly from the lead of the design team. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to check out